I want to be there. I want to help you through that. My mission and my purpose in life is to help other people heal, help you guys heal, and live an honest life by telling the fucking truth. We are talking to executives who are beyond burnt out, talking to CEOs, talking to founders, talking to business owners, talking to people who want more, who know there's more for you on this earth. Human issues that are not issues at all. They are just a sign that you are on the verge of a new journey, and the joy on the other side of the heartbreak and the grieving and the boundaries, the estrangement, all that needs to come for you to fully exist honestly as you are in your truth. Let's talk about founder stories today, and I have a special treat for you because I'm going to share mine. Hi, I'm Anne Gillaspie, host of OnlyFounders, and I am so happy you're here today. This is a new one. This is my first recording solo. I wanted to give a quick show update for all of the fans that have been with us from the beginning. We started this show in August of 2025, and I will tell you, it's been a journey. Matt Lowe has been my amazing partner and co-host, and you have probably gotten used to listening to our banter up until this point. Matt and I decided to have a happy divorce, if you will. We needed to part ways. The show was no longer aligned with all of the amazing work that he's doing with Chipbot and how much he's growing that company. And Matt, I just want to say how proud I am of you and all of the focus and the intentional work that you're doing to grow your company. It is truly admirable. We felt like we were going in a different direction, and I really wanted to take this show to a new place that's going to support my speaking career as a keynote speaker, as well as all of the phenomenal branding projects we're doing at Fix and Form. And with that, we're going to continue with some amazing guest conversations, interviews, talking to founders about real, raw, explicit, in the dirt founder life. I want funny stories. I want smack talk. I want all of the fucks you can give. I want depression. I want these human emotions that are on this wild journey with us as a founder, the ups and the downs. I want to talk about all of it. So with that, I thought I would open this first episode with Anne Gillaspie on the OnlyFounders of my founder story. I believe that we have many burnouts. I believe that we have many rock bottoms. I believe that we have to die several times to reinvent ourselves and reborn in this lifetime. And I will tell you that this was probably my second rock bottom that I'm going to share with you, which is where my founder story begins. I have a degree in business marketing, a minor in acting and directing, because my parents said, Anne, you need to do something in business. You can't just have an arts and entertainment degree. So with that, mom, dad, I did get the business marketing degree. However, my career now is really supported by that acting and directing degree. Hey, I've been doing theater since I was 4. I love speaking. I love public speaking. And in my 20s, I did a lot of marketing, sales, and advertising jobs, as well as I had an agent. A little fun fact about me, I was in an Eddie Murphy movie. I did a Verizon wireless commercial with Paul. Can you hear me now? And I did several extra commercial work just around Denver. And then sometimes I would travel here and there to do acting because I wanted to be on film. So that was my 20s. It was a very corporate, went through 2 layoffs before I was 24, really learned what grit looked like. Little did I know God was preparing me for founder life and business ownership, because you have to build that muscle of perseverance and grit in work and really go out, get hungry, and find projects and work that you want to do. So through those layoffs, I was really grown and evolved early in my career in my 20s. I loved my last job of being owned in the corporate world before I went out on my own. I was the national brand manager for CertaPro Painters, which is a large residential and commercial painting company in the US and Canada. It was a beautiful story of rising from a Craigslist post for marketing help here in Castle Rock, Colorado. Hey, Randy and Mary, maybe you'll listen to this one. It was a wonderful marketing role. I ended up supporting multiple franchise owners for CertaPro in Denver after I learned that there are more of them, and even what a franchise was. So I supported and created a full-time job for myself in my 20s by doing marketing work in a recession after layoff number 2 in my mid-20s. And then we started getting some eyeballs. Corporate was like, what the hell is Denver doing? What are you doing? Nobody's painting a house right now. We're in a recession. And here we were crushing. So it was a really amazing opportunity. VP of development came out, wanted to shadow what we were doing for a few days. And then they ended up offering me a marketing position at corporate. So I was the West Coast marketing manager. And then slowly after, I became the national marketing manager. And then slowly after, I became the national brand manager after I got a little taste of branding and realized, holy shit, I'm a brand person. I hate marketing. So I had an amazing brand mentor, Edward Lehman. We miss you. Rest in peace. He was an incredible creative mind. He was an empathetic, kind, compassionate British man, very quirky, very fun. When I asked him to mentor me, every chance I got, every sales meeting, every conference, every time we were in the same vicinity, I wanted to spend time with him. So, okay, Edward, getting a little emotional. I miss you. I know that the last decade or so, we didn't connect that often, but before that, you were such a crucial part of my early journey into branding, and I thank you for all that you did. So, I'm a little teary. I'm going to move on. I'm going to feel these emotions, and then we're going to process and move on. So after CertaPro, I realized branding was my thing. But we were actually trying to start a family, my husband and I, and we had actually a really tough time getting pregnant for the first time. It took us like 1.5 to 2 years, and we finally did, and then we had a miscarriage. That was our first one. And I was traveling. I was a road warrior, you guys, in this brand management role. I was on the road about 60% of the year for 4 years straight in my 20s. I even got engaged and planned a wedding somehow through all of that. I get off the fucking plane and my husband's like, we got a flower appointment. Let's go. Then we're going to do a cake tasting. And I'm like, cool. Tell me when and where and let's do this. I had a suitcase packed with all my brown stuff and tans and neutrals. And I had a suitcase packed with all the blacks and the bold colors. I shit you not. And it was like, get home, maybe go on a hike, see my fiance, see my dog, do some laundry, see a friend, eat something, and then bye. Man, it was a lot. It was such an amazing ride. It was wining and dining and managing massive amounts of money with agency partnerships and creatives and, all of the lead generating campaigns that we did, and then managing the national marketing co-ops in each of the cities with all of those amazing franchises, going to conference, speaking at conference, teaching, emceeing. It was a very public, big job for me in my 20s. I was really fucking proud. I think I'm so much more proud of that now in my 40s. And I had to revisit that 20-year-old and say, yo, I'm so proud of you. You're doing it. Because I wasn't proud of myself at the time, but now I see what that road was. I had an amazing boss, Ed Waller. What's up? I'm going to send you this episode. You were profound for me because you were such a different communication style than I was used to. And I really adapted to thinking fast and slow. Do you remember that book you recommended to me? It was so crucial. I made really quick decisions, and I always asked for forgiveness instead of permission. And while you loved that assertiveness about me, I also think you wanted me to really slow down and be more strategic. And I have still used your wisdom and your mentorship and your guidance from CertaPro today. In fact, I talk to Ed somewhat regularly, a few times a year, and we still keep in touch. So what's up, Ed? After CertaPro, I will say with the family planning, and we were also moving to Austin for a hot minute just to get out of Denver. I was born and raised in Denver. We wanted a change of scenery, and both my husband and I were just traveling, so we didn't really need to live anywhere specific except by an airport. But while we were trying to have a family, I was at the point where I was like, yo, I'm going to be in Vegas when I'm ovulating. Just get a ticket. It's $120 and come out. My husband's like, are you serious? You really want me to come out and work from Vegas in your hotel room because you're ovulating? I'm like, yes, that's where we are. We kind of got crazy. We had some false testing and lab work. There was a whole journey. That'll be a different episode of founding family, right? It was a really rocky journey for a reason. God was doing some work with us, let's just say. When we were moving to Austin, I had decided I was going to resign from my job at CertaPro because the options in front of me were move to where they're headquartered in Pennsylvania and have a nice acceleration path there and manage people, or stay remote. and do what I was doing. And so with that, I felt like it was a really good time to have a happy divorce. And I left, I resigned. There were some tears. There were some really impactful conversations. And I left for nothing. We moved to Austin. I sold my car. I left my family and friends. I was miscarrying as we were in the moving truck. Like, it was awful. We had our going away party, and the week after that, I miscarried and no one knew. And we had just told our parents that we were pregnant. We hit that 7-8 week mark, and thought we were safe. So it was really devastating death of that version of Anne. The identity I had with the wine and dine, flying around the country, first class agency dinners, brand manager in her 20s of this multi-million-dollar franchise company. And I just lost myself in the most beautiful way. I had to have this amazing death to be reborn into that next version of me that would live out my decades of my 30s, which did some big things. So the founder story of how I became an entrepreneur, I have a lot of unresolved and some resolved trauma from my childhood. I didn't grow up in a great, supportive home necessarily. There was so much love and there was so much performative support and love, but it didn't feel unconditional. I also grew up where my parents were a bit more entrepreneurial and very much work for themselves, for what I could remember of it from my older childhood. And the financial situation was very manic and bipolar. I didn't always feel safe. I didn't always feel like we had security and resources. There was a divorce, there was abuse, and I felt scared. And even Ed Waller would say, well, you'd make a great business owner. Do you want to buy a franchise? And I was like, shut the hell up. No, I don't ever want to be a business owner. And I shied away from it a lot for many years. Till we moved to Austin, and I had to literally go through this amazing, I call it the first Great Depression of Anne. And for 3 months, I was burnt out. I didn't want to see another airplane. I didn't want to look at my fucking suitcase. I didn't even want to think about kids. Didn't even, let my husband touch me. It was just very inward and in grievance. And it was in this period of time, it was a new neighborhood. We knew hardly anyone in Austin. And I wasn't social. I didn't need to be. I was very much in the house. The weather was rainy. It was icy. It was weird in Austin. They're like, this is a weird winter. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking me. Okay. I brought the weird winter. You're welcome. And I had to go through this whole loneliness and this process of dying. And it was really beautiful. And I went to the dog park through our neighbors and through the dog park and talking about me and who I am and what I do and maybe what I could do in the future. I took a little sabbatical, if you didn't pick up on that. It was like 2 to 3 months of nothingness. And I sat in my depression. I processed. I got to know who this chick was. Who's Anne in Austin? Like, what does she do? And I met some really amazing people. Kenny, Tabitha, Aaron, Kristen. I met some incredible people who are responsible for the start of me finding my entrepreneurship journey and encouraging me and supporting me and hearing my mind and saying, you have something, you should be a consultant, you should start your own business. And I said, no thanks. And then I started interviewing at agencies, thinking I would go to the agency side. And none of it was exciting. None of it was something I wanted to do. I just felt so boxed in and pigeonholed. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Don't tell me what to do. So needless to say, in March of 2014, because of a dog park meet, a neighbor meet in our new neighborhood, and then some connections, I ended up starting my own consulting firm called AG Brand and Marketing in the sweet little town of Austin, Texas. And it slowly evolved and became this incredible business that in my first year, it was the 4 a.m. nights. It was the what the fuck tax learning. It was, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm here. It was selling shit I didn't even have in existence yet, but I can do it. It was walking through clients on these amazing brand creations and journeys and charging $500 for a session and a package that I work now in for $2,500. So it has evolved quite a bit, but I was basically giving it away for free just to figure out what I was doing. I had amazing referral partnerships. I had amazing friends. I grew an amazing family and community down there in the startup life. I started getting into incubators and Capital Factory and all of those Austin startup 2014, cool places to be. I was teaching. I was at General Assembly teaching. I was at SCORE teaching. I would go anywhere and be a brand teacher. And through that, I elevated my thought leadership platform early on and didn't even know I was doing that, to really guide people through the branding process in that startup culture. And in that same journey, I was also branding myself in my startup journey by teaching others how to do it, which was really beautiful beginning for me. And now here we are 12 years later. I have rebranded AG Brand and Marketing twice. Now we are Fix and Form, a Denver branding firm. I have a team of about 9 contractors that I bring in and out of client projects. We do human-centered brand transformations for established small businesses up to medium and large. We have serviced clients nationwide for 12 years. This is the first year, 2026, with this latest rebrand. And now Fix and Form has gone through 2 rebrands since being AG Brand and Marketing. And I am so thrilled with how the brand is operating now in my truth as a founder and the CEO of the company. I will say being a Denver branding firm has felt so aligned with what we actually do. We're not a big brand agency. We're not a marketing agency. In fact, we just released the newest version of fixandform.com, our website. And after 12 years of existing online in very different versions, this one feels the most authentically true to me as the founder and the creator of the brand, because it's human-centered, it's short and sweet, there's very little bullshit. And one of the things that I did was I scrubbed the entire website copy doc for the word marketing and eliminated it, because guys, we are not a marketing company. I don't do marketing. I have a marketing degree and I hate marketing. I just don't do it. It doesn't align with who I am. I don't like building your marketing programs. No, I don't want to do a monthly retainer marketing program with you. So last year I had a big vision planning year of where I want to take Fix and Form in this next evolution. One of the things was we are a branding firm. We are a firm of collaborators and contractors who come together for each specific client project that we do. And I call them my Denver Dream Team because everybody is local. Another huge shift is we're moving from branding and marketing to just branding. Now, if you know anything about branding, it's like house painting. You do it every 7 to 10 years unless you have a major episode shift of, ownership, acquisition, new product line, service offering, something that's going to impact the brand offer and the brand at its core. Maybe it's a new target audience, but otherwise you really shouldn't be touching your brand more than every 7 to 10 years if it's working for you and it's in alignment. So that being said, branding is not a retainer offer. Now you can have an internal chief of brand, right? A brand strategist, someone who's working on your brand marketing ongoing. Marketing is a retainer ongoing service. Branding and the brand projects that Fix and Form produces are not retainer projects. Now, I've been in several peer-to-peer CEO growth groups that say, and you need to have a retainer model. And while I hear them and I understand, it's not our core offer. It's not the signature brand transformation that Fix and Form completes. That's the retainer. It is maybe access to me on more of a relationship coaching or brand therapist, thought leadership type of level. Maybe it is access to some courses and some workshops and some information, education and training around brand that could just be evergreen, ongoing retainer offers or products and services that the company does. But for me, I think it was my fault in seeing our core brand offer of the signature brand transformations as trying to make it something that was a retainer, ongoing, revenue producing service. And that's where I got into trouble. And so I then thought, well, sure, hell, why not? We can do marketing. I was raised in marketing in my 20s in this career, and I know how to do all of these different programs that my contractors execute beautifully: copywriting, social media marketing, email marketing. One of the greatest contract roles that I had years ago in this business journey was really transforming Floor Coverings International customer journey through their email program. And I looked at all of the strategy behind it and what their customer journey was and rewrote the email program of the customer journey for Floor Coverings. And that process was really amazing for me, but also I didn't want to grow my business with that type of contract work. I didn't want to be just the copywriter who was also the brand strategist who was really thinking about the customer aspect of the journey. And it was a great job, but I was basically employing myself. I wasn't growing a brand, growing a business. So I also had to pivot last year of, am I trying to keep myself employed and just earn a paycheck from my brain? Or do I really want to be building an empire? Do I really want to be the CEO of brands that are growing, that are giving other people opportunities that I might not be working inside of, but I am truly a founder, founding and growing and evolving these brands to produce and service other clients with a team, with people who aren't necessarily me. So anyway, that was a huge shift for us last year. And so in this latest version of Fix and Form, I've never been more grounded and convicted of what this business should be doing. So our brand transformations are 3 to 4 months. We usually start at minimum 15 to 20,000 for a brand project. So it is more of an established small business budget and less of that solopreneur, solo business owner who we've been working in Startup City with for a while. And then up to the medium and large businesses where we would recommend more of a $40,000 to $60,000 brand offer that includes a lot of video. And when you're talking about human-centric brand transformations, you're talking about a lot of video. We believe in a great video package that gives you not only the short clips for YouTube and socials, but also those long form, here's who we are human. You know, anybody who's a service provider business needs video on your website that needs to be strategically scripted and really thoughtfully, carefully produced to show who you guys are behind the brand, because that's what we're all about. You can't just have, you know, words on the screen anymore. Human-centric brands are showing up on social channels, on their websites, and they're producing some amazing documentary work of this is who we are and this is what we care about. And that's really what Fix and Form helps to produce. So again, that range, it's a 3 to 4 month brand transformation and established small businesses. We could really start you at 15 to 20,000 for the brand project, but that doesn't include video. That would have to be something that is eliminated or done at a very small scale. We could probably bootstrap something. And then of course the medium to large businesses would be more in that $40,000 to $60,000 range of a brand project. That's one time. It's one time. And I always encourage my clients to say, look, if you are actively engaged in a monthly marketing budget, you would probably want to pause a lot of that if it's not crucial to your bottom line while you are doing brand work, because you don't want to be investing in marketing in something that is broken or not working. And the reason why you are working with Fix and Form on a brand transformation is because your branding, your content, your alignment, your identity, your marketplace positioning, and your target audiences are not aligned and clarified. And so that's the work that we're doing over those 3 to 4 months, and then visually producing and bringing that to life in your digital footprint. So I always recommend looking at strategically what those marketing budgets are every month, and then pulling some of that for the brand project, because the brand project is a one-off thing. It's a one-time deal, and you really don't have to hit it again for 7 to 10 years. And that's just the core of our business. We are a one-time in and out. We don't want to see you again until shit is broken years from now. Okay. So a few things that I'm working on that I'm so excited to share with you guys today, because it is the first time that I'm talking about it and it's going live. As I do keynote speaking, and I connect with audiences and activate some amazing business leaders, executives, women, there's always that after effect, right? There's this amazing event. I just delivered 2 keynotes in the last 2 weeks. And after both of those events, I connected with some incredible audience members who wanted more. And I think about my time at conferences, and when I see a really impactful speaker and I say, ooh, I love you. I'm going to follow you on Instagram, which you guys should do, Anne Gillaspie. And I'm going to link in with you, right? Link in with me on LinkedIn. But I will say you connect with them there, and then there might be a little conversation. You might get a chance to meet them at the rest of the event or at the back and give them a business card. But that's it. It just kind of fizzled. And, the best way that they've been doing it, in my experience, is, oh, well, buy my book, or here's a free copy of my book. Well, I'm not a book reader, and I have a stack of amazing books from these amazing speakers that I'm not going to read because, guys, I don't read books. I am on Blinkist. I do Audible, and I'll listen to you if you have an ebook, or I'm literally that 20-minute snapshot on Blinkist for give me a blink of your book, and I'm fucking moving on because I'm a mom of 3 and I own 3 businesses. I am not sitting and reading a book, guys. I just don't enjoy it. Never have, never will. So if that's my only way of connecting with you after this event, that's a problem. So one of the problems I'm trying to fix in getting access to my tribe, and as I speak, I'm finding my tribe in such a beautiful way. I'm calling it the Truth Tribe community, and it's Anne's Truth Tribe. But really, that's just the essence of what this group is going to be. It's not necessarily the name of it. It's called Anne's Coffee Club. So this is a community that I'm just launching, and we're just now accepting applications for founding members at a discounted price. On a monthly basis, I want to connect with my tribe every other Friday for an hour with a really good cup of coffee. It's Anne's Coffee Club. And the reason why I'm opening this community is I am finding amazing people, event planners, audience members, potential clients who I want more time with, as well as they want more time with me. And so you often hear as a business owner, can I pick your brain? Or can I get your thoughts on this? Or I'm starting a business. I'd love to get an hour of your time. And I love, love, love giving that away. And literally for 12 years of being a founder, I have given away a lot of my hours for free. And I would, if I could do it, if I could continue doing it in my schedule, I would. And I just can't. It's not realistic for where I am and where I'm going. And I can't do all the one-on-ones right now that I want to. I can't go sit in a coffee shop with all of the people I want to sit with and have these human, raw conversations. So there's 2 ways that I'm really trying to connect with people now. It's on my podcast, OnlyFounders. I'd love to have you on as a guest where we have real, raw human connections and conversations about founder life, founding anything. I actually want to do some new podcast episodes of founding faith. How literally when I left religion and ditched religion, I found my faith stronger than God has ever given me. And it was really profound. And then I want to have my husband on the show, founding our marriage after so many years together. This fall we'll be together 18 years, married for 15. I think it's really important to highlight our spouses and our partnerships in this founder life of work, because without him, I wouldn't be able to soar and thrive in the way that I've been the last several years. And I also want to do shows about founding communities and founding purposes and missions and nonprofits and founding apps and widgets, founding ideas. I have a lot of friends that say, well, Anne, I'm not really a business founder. I don't think I could be on your show. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, you could, because there are so many things that you guys are founding that provide such a human conversation rooted in truth. And that's what we're doing. So OnlyFounders is a great way for me to have one-on-ones and connect with people with purpose and hit record and then publish it for you guys to watch and listen to. And the second way that I am connecting with people is through Anne's Coffee Club. Here's a little story. For 18 years that I've been with my husband, back when we first started dating, coffee is my love language, and it is our way of caring for each other and his way of starting off my day every day by saying, hey, I see you. I love you. Coffee is the number one thing that I look forward to every morning. It's my favorite time of day. And I love coffee. I fucking love coffee. And if I sit with you over a cup of coffee, it means that I love you and I want to give you my time and attention. And every morning that we have been together for 18 years, my husband prepares my coffee in the most amazing way because he knows exactly how I like it. And he brings me my cup of coffee, either up in bed, because he knows I love to start my day slow and relax when I can, or if I'm on the go, either in my Yeti or a mug. And that's it. And so I was thinking about that. And how do I want to connect with my truth tribe? As I collect more and more people through clients, through speaking, friends, anybody in my life who wants more, who needs some support in your truth journey after you hear me speak and you say, wow, Anne, holy shit, with tears in your eyes, you spoke to me. I am on my journey. and it is hard and I'm scared. I want access to you. I want you to have access to me. I want to hear how it's going. So these are intimate groups. We're going to do an hour every other Friday, so twice a month, of Anne's Coffee Club. So I'm going to be sending out some more information and posting about it on socials and give you the link to join if you would like to. If you'd like to pick my brain, if you'd like to submit a question. There's also a Facebook group coming at this because as I speak globally and I get access to more humans, as we acquire these Truth Tribe community members who are all like us, I want to give a community space starting on Facebook for everybody to network and meet fellow Truth Tribe community members in this Anne's Coffee Club, where we are all in a similar mission, either with work or our personal journeys of transformation. And I want you guys to connect and meet other people. And that's also where you're going to be able to submit your questions. So there's going to be Clubhouse rules. I want everybody to go back to your inner child. I sure as hell am. This is kind of where this is all stemming from. And it's an inner child place for adults to really be raw and pure and honestly themselves, visiting their inner children in this club. And I want there to be these treehouse clubhouse rules for Anne's Coffee Club of codes of conduct, what's going to be allowed in these coffee club meetups and what won't. It'll be over Google Meet, super simple. Of course, we're going to start with dancing, because if you've heard me speak and you know that dance saved my life, literally, there's going to be some movement. And then we're going to start with a little brief activation from me. Every time I speak, I call it an activation. And I'm going to give a little mini micro bite of something that I am speaking about coming up. So it'll also be kind of like my open mic to test some of my stuff on you guys. And then we're going to just open it up to answering some of the questions. So the day before, because I want to intentionally plan my responses and open it up to the community, you guys are going to be submitting topics, or Anne, can I pick your brain on, or hey, I'm in this part of my truth-telling journey and I'm really struggling with X, or I'm approaching a divorce and I'm really scared because I told the truth, or I'm exiting as a CEO, or I'm starting my first business and I'm scared. We have to share our fear. This is going to be the place to do that with other people who want to see and hear you in your truth. And I'm bringing the world of truth tellers together in my community. So if you're interested in that, sounds like something that would give you life right now, be on my socials. I'm going to be releasing that. I'm also going to be releasing links to sign up, grab you on my email list, and also get you in that Facebook group so you can start submitting questions. We're going to have some honest conversation. I will answer some questions. I will also open it up to the group. I will also be monitoring the code of conduct and the clubhouse rules, and I will be kicking people out if I need to. This is going to be a very, very meaningful community for me starting out, and we'll see where it grows. So that is the newest thing on Anne's brands, but that's my founder story. And where we've ended up today was God has literally been calling at me for 2 years to speak, and I thought it was within my branding firm and my companies and Tend to Launch or Fix and Form, and then the OnlyFounders podcast. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. Didn't you see? I started a podcast and I'm speaking. It's my thought leadership platform. And he was just like, no. No, the raw transformation, brokenness of where you've come from the last 6 years and this journey as a human, that's what I want you to speak on, because my mission and my purpose in life is to help other people heal, help you guys heal, and live an honest life by telling the fucking truth, right? And actually showing up and associating with yourself in a connected way, mind, body, spirit. I want to help you embody your whole being with intention every single day you get on this earth, because what is the point otherwise? Right? And we are talking to cycle breaking parents. We are talking to executives who are beyond burnt out, talking to CEOs, talking to founders, talking to business owners, talking to people who want more, who know there's more for you on this earth and you've checked out, or maybe you also were flirting with suicide or are suicidal now. These are deeply human issues that are not issues at all. They are just a sign that you are on the verge of a new journey, and the joy on the other side of the heartbreak and the grieving and the boundaries, the estrangement, all that needs to come for you to fully exist honestly as you are in your truth. I want to be there. I want to help you through that. That's why we have Coffee Club, so that we can be there for each other through these beautiful transformations of healing and exiting and entering and ending and boundaries. And holy shit, cycle breaking is tough work. But the only way we can show up in our truth with other people is by telling the truth with ourselves first. So where I am today, 2026, my founder story, I have founded my keynote speaking business and finally listened to God. And so while I still am operating Fix and Form, a Denver branding firm, as the CEO, we very much are taking referrals, and we are actually looking forward to kicking off a brand client this summer. I can't wait to work with you. I'm also very much still doing brand therapy, which is my form of one-on-one coaching and consulting and connecting. But I've been a brand therapist for about 15 years, and it is the heartbeat of my work. Every Fix and Form client project starts with my brand therapy sessions. They're 90-minute therapy sessions for businesses. We have an executive level offer for larger corporations, and we also have more solopreneur offers that are broken out into manageable weekly meetings for 90 minutes because you guys just don't have a lot of staff, team support, and time. I see you. So there's a couple of offers in that brand therapy page that we can work together if you got to figure some shit out. I've got you. So, and those are my offerings: keynote speaking, Fix and Form brand transformations, brand therapy, and come be a guest on OnlyFounders because I want to talk to you guys. That's it. We had to back burner some other stuff, and that's okay because I just was working on too much. So that is my founder story today. I feel like I completely died and crashed out by the age of 39. My 30s were incredibly hard, painful, beautiful, raw, cracked open in the most epic way. We ended up having 3 children. I had 1 miscarriage, a beautiful girl, a beautiful boy, another miscarriage, and then a beautiful girl. And through that, I would say I had to lose myself, mind, body, and soul in motherhood. And it was okay. And she had to go through that for so much cycle breaking of inner child work, of family history that was no longer serving my future and where God was taking me. And I realized that she had to die in a very visibly painful way and really flirted with suicide for many years. A lot of depression, a lot of burnout, and that's what I speak to now. So you can go to anngillaspie.com and read more about my journey and my mission in speaking. And you can also go to fixandform.com, which is my branding firm. And you will see all of the links there to find brand therapy as well, which is your way to work with me one-on-one on your business and the brand direction that's rooted in truth, which is really important. And of course, OnlyFounders. You're on the podcast now, so you're here, babes. You know what's going on. That's me. Please follow me on Instagram, find me on LinkedIn, introduce yourself. I would love to see you. And you matter. If you are sitting in a life that is dishonest and you're sick of dissociating, let's wake the fuck up together. Start telling the truth, and I'm here for that. I want to see you. Join my coffee club on Fridays, because there's going to be so much joy for you on the other end of this hardship. At 40, I was reborn for the second time, or third. I think I might have had 3 rock bottoms at this point. 41 was my first birthday, and I'm going to end this episode with this story. When my family was doing my birthday cake for my birthday last year, I'll be 42 in a month. The kids, you know how kids just always want to put like all of the candles on the cake, and you're like, stop it. Like, we know how old I am. Stop. And they're like, no, we need more. We need more. We need more. And so my kids were getting the cake ready, and my husband was kind of laughing, and he's like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. And so for some reason, I don't even remember having this candle still because our kids were much older, but there was a 1 candle. And that was it. There was only a 1 candle. And I was like, where the fuck did we get that? That should have been thrown away a long time ago, but we have a 1 candle. And so they brought it out and like, Mom, will this do? And maybe I'll show a picture of the cake with the 1 on it for my 41st birthday, but it was truly my first birthday as Anne. I call it truly Anne. And that was the first year that I did all of the therapy and all of the coaching and all of the meditation and all of the deep rooted release from my DNA of fears that were not mine, but were somehow something I was born into in the house that I was raised in, that my body just took on as something that I had to exist in. And it wasn't mine. And it was slowly killing me. And so when I was born at 40, and 41 was my first birthday, holy shit. The kids brought this cake over with the one candle in it, had no idea what they were doing, but kids are so intuitive. And I just looked at my husband across the house, and I had tears in my eyes, and we both communicated because we knew what this meant, and he knew it was my first birthday as truly Anne, in this form, in this version. And I will tell you, I have lived almost 2 years as Anne in this mind, body, spirit, soul. And you guys, I'm so fucking happy. Every single day I'm associated and connected and present, and I want to exist in this beautiful life that I've created. And there is nothing more meaningful to this life than that feeling for me. And that's what I want to help you achieve. Thank you for joining me today on my founder story.